Good morning, everyone. Adriana here. Wanted to hop on here and to share with you some information about overeating. And today I'm literally going to be talking about 3 simple habits that you can start today to improve or reduce the episodes of overeating. So this video, what you're going to be able to find is what overeating looks like, also what impact overeating it can have on your life, your self-esteem, and also your physical and emotional health, and what are those 3 habits that you can start changing today. I think it is obviously, if you have any questions during today's video, please do just ask me anything, and I'm just going to share with you what I know about overeating. So first, I'd just like to say why I'm so passionate about overeating, because I have struggled my whole entire life with always losing control when it comes to food. That was always a process of restricting, dieting, and then kind of just overeating, and then guilt and shame about it, and that physical impact that it had on me. So for example, with severe bloating, stomach pains, but also the excess of body fat that I was gaining in that process. So I know how difficult it is to actually deal with more emotional side of it, and how I perceived myself at that time, like a total failure. That how can I just constantly be losing control when I'm in a health industry for so long? How I don't have, my what do you call it, things together? Why I can't get, in control over my eating? And in this process now, I finally know what those things are. So for today, I'm just going to say what overeating looks like. That basically looks like that you're eating more than you need, when you're constantly pushing yourself to eat over the limit, where you feel satisfied and full, where you basically need to unzip your trousers after your meal, when you need to lie down to let food digest, when you so for example, you're being really good during the week, and then you become really bad, lots of people saying really bad over the weekend. And I'm going to say overeating, I would class, I'm not going to use the word binge eating, but overeating where basically makes you physically uh, physically uncomfortable, and also that you feel guilt and shame about what you do. So I'm going to talk today about the behavior and habits that you can start doing to influence how much food you're consuming. So I'm not going to be talking about the emotional side, especially when, like how you see food, the meaning of food in your life, how you perceive yourself and it together in your like relationship with food. So that is obviously something that needs to be discussed, and needs to be kind of understood better. So I'm just going to be focusing on the habit and behavior that you can do right now. But if you need any help to really discover why you're eating the way you do, then you can just drop me a message, or I'm going to share, I think I've shared with you the link. So you can basically just book a call for 20 minutes, and I can literally help you to discover what that is. So I also want just to say what impact overeating has on your life. Is that for example, as I mentioned, for me was the constant bloating and constant pain in my stomach, lack of energy, lethargy, what's it called? Lethargy, that I could basically need to go and lie down in the afternoon, or I was kind of constantly craving food that I never knew when to stop and how to stop. Is that you are constantly battling gaining weight, that you're feeling constantly the urge to diet and to reduce the weight or to exercise more. Whatever that is, overeating consistently, even if it's once a week or twice a week, will affect in some way or the other your health and your well-being. So what are the 3 things that you can do, or the 3 daily habits that you can start from today? And I would promise you that you're going to notice a significant difference on your food choices. So I would love to ask you, can you tell me one thing that comes to your mind? what would really affect your overeating. So, number one, I know that everybody's going to roll their eyes, it's regular sleep. I know, I know. Lots of people are getting like really frustrated with me. Why I constantly keep talking about sleep? Because this is the most important thing. Because with a lack of sleep, with lack of rest, we are having this appetite, and our food choices are changing from, for example, when you can control your food choices, you become less mindful or you become mindless. You just use food for, you're eating for the sake of it. Try and really think about the days when you've had a good night's sleep. How did that affect you? Did you actually think about food, or did you just eat when you felt hungry? It's really important to understand that distinction. How you eat when you feel tired and how you eat when you're rested. So, what my clients have to establish first is their sleep routine. And I'm going to say this is the most basic, but the most important thing for your health, well being, and also your appetite, especially when it comes to your food choices and the food control, is sleep. So, if you obviously need kind of more details, how you can organize your sleep routine, just book a chat and I'm just going to share with you all I know how you can establish that routine. But it comes as well changing how you see sleep, because lots of people don't want to dedicate their time. Mocha, important topic to keep our habit of eating healthy and enjoyable. My pleasure, Mocha. So, um, so the next thing is 3 regular meals. This is something that I know, and I know that most of my clients and people that I talk to, they really struggle. They don't have any routine when it comes to their meal times. They don't. They're just literally all over the place. They are grabbing food and eating and walking, or constantly being distracted through that process. But if you would really just think about as really, think about 20 years ago or 30 years ago when you were a kid, how we were all eating. We were having a meal times when you sit down and you eat. So because our brain needs routine. And one of the things that I remember, one of my clients, she always really said, I'm really struggling to keep myself to stop snacking and eating in between lunch and dinner. And my simple question was, when do you eat your lunch and when do you eat your? She basically said she eats lunch between 12 and 1, and her dinner is between 7 and 8 p.m. So if you're looking that range of hours where you don't eat, so normally we start feeling hungry in between 4 to 5 hours after we've had the previous meal. And let's say if we ate that we felt satisfied, rather than just like eat half it because we are on a diet or trying to lose weight. And if you really reduce those hours, so for her was, I said to her, you would need to make a compromise. Is that you're going to have a smaller snack, or let's say the smoothie that is going to fill you up and is going to break that time in between lunch and dinner. So for you to enjoy your dinner, if you want to keep it at 7 to 8 p.m. But for a long-term sustainable lifestyle change, it would be always the best to really be mindful how long you're having in between those two meals. So, for example, really struggling to keep that time between lunch and dinner, what you can do, you can move your breakfast to be, let's say, later in the day. So let's say 10 11 a.m. Then you can have your lunch in between 2 to 3. And then if you're having dinner really late, to have it at a time that suits you. Or you can think about how it's actually going to help you and serve you to go to bed. To have a dinner and then go straight to bed. Do you feel maybe like a heartburn? Do you struggle to go to sleep because your stomach is full? Is something really to consider, because for our health, is always the best to not eat anything 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed. So having regular 3 meals, it works for you and your lifestyle, and especially really think about removing those distractions. So you sit down, you eat your food rather than constantly trying to rush through life. I remember, like myself, lots of people are bringing food in front of their laptop and they are working in the same time. So this is something that is so you need to bring the awareness to that for you to be able to change it. And then number three, the third habit is, this is kind of when it comes to nutrition strategy, and that is to have the protein at least 2 to 3 meals in a day. You're thinking about the palm. You can have the palm. You can have, let's say, you can have this size of a palm, or have the full one, because it's basically, the research is just showing that well, having a protein such as eggs, dairy, meat, poultry, white meat, red meat, or you can go to vegetarian and vegan options. You have the access. If you literally just type what protein you can eat, so for whatever type of that kind of the way of eating you're currently doing, but just really thinking about, how do you feel when you consume eggs for breakfast? When do you hungry after that? Or how do you feel when you start experiencing hunger when you're eating cereals for breakfast? This is something really worth considering. How do you feel when you're going to have, especially when you go to work and you bring yourself soup that probably is literally fluid? How quickly do you feel after that? Or how do you feel if you, let's say, bring yourself a chicken? It can be pasta salad, but it has the protein in it. So after this video, you can literally just start paying attention. How quickly do you feel hungry after your meal when you don't consume protein? That literally can be anything. It can be, uh, sandwiches, or I don't even know what normally like people have for lunch. I literally always have three with my all three meals. I have always protein, because I know how much it affects the heart or the appetite. It really helps to reduce cravings as well, because you're having food in your stomach that needs digesting, and also it fills you up. So those are three things, three daily habits: is regular sleep, having three regular meals, no longer than 4 to 5 hours apart. And then number three is to have 1 pound of protein with every single meal. So if you need any more tips, please do book a call with me. It's completely free. And I'm just going to share with you everything that I know, how you can support your health and well-being. And also, if you need any help, or if you would like to know how I can do with my coaching and with my program, then do please get in touch. So for now, I wish you a wonderful day, and ask me any questions that I'm going to reply after this email. Speak to you soon, and hope you found this helpful.